Good morning. This is Grandthumb Farms here on Maizy Farms doing the 0 to Hero challenge. The poplar got tall. Hello. Looking good. It's very tall. Almost twice as tall as me. I've never seen poplar in real life. Well, I've got my morning chores to get started. It's harvest day, oat harvest day, and I see rain in the forecast, but I looked at my weather app and I don't see any rain in the forecast. I think I'm going to look into getting a weather station. I complain a lot about the weather and the forecasting, but it looks like it could rain, but it's early in the morning, so it's always kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna do my chores. Little juice to put away. The best juice in Maizy Lou. And wood to put away. So I'm gonna get all that stuff done and I'll bring you back. I'm not gonna mess around like I have in the, wrong vehicle. In the past, thinking I've got plenty of time with only one field to harvest. Last night I grabbed some, I didn't grab it. Last night I emptied the whole manure pit into the 2 trees. So now the trees are doing poop apples. So it's 24 water, 5 manure is 64 apples at 240 cycles. So we're doubling the cycles. Less water, a little bit of manure. I've got about, looks like 26,000 in one, should be pretty close. Yeah, 25,000 in the other. Hopefully they'll be good. Poop apples. It doesn't sound very good. I'm gonna get my chores done and we'll see you at the pig farm getting ready for the oat harvest, I believe. The other day I realized that the settings on my lime spreader were incorrect. They were not set on auto. I had lowered them for a contract and didn't put them back up. I had to go back and relime the field, so that's why I've got all these skinny tires all over my tractor and my spreader. I'm not sure it was a good idea to lime after the parsnips were planted, but however I did it. Hopefully I didn't do a bad thing. I should have checked on them as I was passing them by. I just realized I've got 2 oat fields to harvest, not just one. Also, the grass is ready to be harvested. Incorrect. The grass is also ready to be harvested. I can't just mess around. I've got some things to do. I'm not sure if anybody else saw it, but I certainly didn't see that the rain was starting at 7. I looked throughout the day, not paying attention to the 7 o'clock hour. I'll have to go back and see if it was there, idiot. So it's 7 o'clock and it's raining. I have the truck parked up here with the covers on. The cows need some hay, so I'll drive up to the cow farm and get them taken care of while it's raining. Did I mention I did a cultivating contract last night? Well, there was something else I did. I found a cattle guard. Oh, I didn't put it in correctly. Dang it! It's not anchored. I'm gonna have to fix that. Hey, little calf, you can't get out. You're scared to walk over that. Unfortunately, it's part of a fence, not an object, so I can't sink it in the ground at all. But at least it's a cattle guard. I'd like to have an object where I could center it and all that kind of thing, but it'll be fine. Time to feed the cows. I'm not worried about these gates because there's fences around this area. I can always run them out if I have to. So I was talking to Walter this morning, and he says he wants his field cultivated. And I told him I wasn't going to do it in the rain. He said, take my stuff and you can do it in the rain. And I said, okay. So I'm taking Walter's stuff to go cultivate his field in the rain. And I kind of want to drive this tractor anyway. Yeah, 470 horses. This ought to be good. I did get our juice and the wood out of the rain and the wool. I moved some wool when I was headed to the pig farm. It was just 2 pallets. I gave the cows 6 bales. That should hold them. And I'm seeing a lot of good opportunities to make some money. Walter said he's got some baling, but I told him I wasn't going to bale in the rain. Even if he thinks that his straw is wasted, I don't want to take the time to have to clean out the baler over and over because of the rain. Well, the parsnips, they're looking good. pH is right. The field looks very nice. I like that. I am going to square this field off after I harvest it for the next time I do root crops. Okay, this field over here next to the parsnips is where we've got to do the cultivating. And I forgot about this hill. I wonder how much of a struggle this is going to be. I've only got 70 horsepower to spare. And I don't have duals. This ought to be fun. Yeah, duals would be nice. It feels like it's slipping pretty good. We'll get her done. He says with confidence. I may have to change up my strategy. Well, I've messed with it and messed with it. I'm gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. It'll be fine. Well, I'm not sure why Walter needed it done right away, but that's what he asked for, so that's what he got. I could have used more tractor on this one. All right, let's go get set up for the oat harvest. I think I'm going to try this on my own. We'll see how it goes. I can use the exercise. Okay, now I got my wiggler turned off, so we should be good to go. And this is another field I need to square up just a little bit on this back end. It's a very good yield, 120 plus. I'll take it. Well, I think that went pretty well. I might have done a couple of things differently. Having a helper would be helpful. The yield is pretty good though. I didn't notice 99% full. Nice. Pigs are going to be happy in a few months. Get some fresh food. Of course, they probably will still be eating what we had just because I had to dump all of it because of that unrealistic mistake that I made. 68,000 liters. I do not remember what I got off last harvest. I imagine it was less with all the damage that was on the field. Oh, flip and go. Flip and go. Don't want to lose this grain, even though we're not going very far. Well, I still don't know if this will pull it over the hill with the upgraded motor. It seems like it's having a tough time, but maybe if it had enough speed before we hit the hill, we might be able to go up it. Flip and go. Okay, let's hold it. Trying to flip and go. All right, flip and go. Well, that went pretty well. There's a couple things I'm going to try differently when I harvest this next field. I'm going to take a little break, think about things. There was a plowing contract that is very enticing. I'm not sure if I want to put off the harvest for too long. I don't want to go into the evening, but I might. We'll get a snack and we'll see where we go from there. Good morning so far. We'll be back in a little bit anyway. Hey pigs. Well, I decided to go with a protein bar and a cup of coffee for lunch. I figured otherwise I was going to make a bad decision and get behind. I'm going to knock this field out. Then I can go play on a plow or whatever else I want to do. No, see, I started. Dang it. Okay, now here we go. I decided to forego the straw on the outsides because I end up just driving over and over. I probably could have done it on these longs, but I think we're going to have plenty of straw, so we'll be fine. Let's see how quickly I can knock this one out. Well, I'm glad I didn't put this off. I don't know why I thought this field was larger than it is. Now I'm going to have all afternoon to play. I do have to pick up the straw. I have some field repair to make. Maybe I can get a mulcher this year. That'd be nice. I'll get that bigger one. Now we get to play the header game. Nope, didn't work out. Dang it. Oh, I wish that wasn't a problem. Let's not try to get too sly with this. All right, let's go get our grain. Flip and go. Shot, school bus. Pay attention. Thank you. So I think the corn is 3-1. We did pretty good last year. I wonder if we made the right decision this year with the we didn't make the right decision about where we parked our harvester. Idiot. Flip and go. Of course. Of course. Nailed it. First try. Okay, I'm going to need to clean these. I need to go get my other tractor. See what kind of numbers we have. Oats, 122 times 3, that's 366, but is that right? We're going to need 322. I don't know that we're going to get that much. Oh well, we'll see. I wonder if I can pull out our inputs. and then sell them if we needed to. Nope, just pig food. Well, it was worth a shot. If I can park this in the way. I should have just cleaned it. I'm gonna need to go run to the shop and get my trailer. Where's my pickup truck? I found it. With my luck, I'll swing into the corn and wipe out half the field. Go easy. Oh, I was right. I parked in a bad spot, just like I thought. The sad thing is there's no guarantee that it'll work this time, and it might throw my truck for a loop. Maybe I'd have to buy a new truck. I'll lower it first. It wants to go underneath. Go easy. I grab it, and is that going to be a bad? Yeah, that looks like it's bad. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Maybe the truck can drive off. I'll get this all sorted out. Well, this just might be how I end today's episode. I had a fight with a header and a header trailer, and I believe I lost. I should have just been patient and set it down on the ground somewhere and waited till after the soybean harvest, but I kind of rage sold my header. So now I'm going to do some contracts, try to make up the money. I may end up getting a new harvester. I think it's an S7. Is looking good to me. Gonna take a little bit of money though. So that's my header way up in the air. It ended up over by the cow barn. I was at the pig barn. It was nuts. I did some investigation looking for recalls on the truck, and some folks said, well, first of all, it annoys me because it's a Giants mod. I understand that maps can affect the way mods work too, so I kept that in mind. There is some strange activity that happens on this map. What I read was something about you should have the higher horsepower motor. So I went over to Riverbend Springs, one mod only. I got me the same truck, the same header, the same trailer, except I spent the money on the upgrade on the motor. And I loaded the headers a couple of times, and it did okay. And I thought, well, that's weird that the way the header acts on the trailer has anything to do with the size motor that your harvester has. I just went with it. So I came back to Maizy Farms. I took out $84,000 and upgraded the motor on the harvester to the largest motor, and then went and tried to mess with the header again, and no luck. I should have just set the header on the ground somewhere and waited, but I didn't. I found the S7. It's similar in size, but I guess it's a little bit bigger, and it's going to cost some more money. But I sold the header because I wanted to make the money right, because you're not allowed to borrow money. Technically, I didn't borrow the money, I just stole the money. So I sold the header and the trailer, and that made the money right. So now I have a harvester that I'm not going to use. Well, I'll use it to I use it if I have to, and I'll lease a header if I can't get the money in time to upgrade the harvester. I cleaned everything up, found this contract. There's a couple of more baling contracts. I still need to bale my field. I'll get to it. I need to step away. One day this will be my field. It needs to have corn on it. I should probably rotate all my crops. I don't know if planting oilseed radish counts for anything or not, but I guess that's something I can look up. Anyway, I appreciate you coming out and spending some time here today. Thank you. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good day.